video 13.2. So 13.2 would be the chapter reference. Chapter 13, lesson 2. There are 4 learning target goals. They all have to do with slope. And we worked with number 1 already. I can find the slope of a line by using 2 points. I can find the slope of a horizontal line. That would be a line that looks like that. I can find the slope of a vertical line. And I can find slopes of a line using data from a table. So feel free to pause, write those down, and then continue. So vocabulary, I know it seems busy here, but again, the slope, again, write it down. The more we see it, the more we write it, the more we remember. The slope of a line is a ratio, it's a comparison. And it compares the change in the y to the change in the x. So often referred to as the rise over the run. You'll hear that over and over. The rise over the run. And it is between any 2 points on a line. The slope will be the same. So positive slope, if you go left to right, goes up. Negative slope, going left to right, goes down. It decreases, it falls. So you'd be climbing up. A little dude here, climbing up. And this probably would be more fun, going down. That would be a negative slope. You can use 2 points, so that's going to be our focus today instead of trying to make a triangle. So we're going to use the 2 points, the 2 y coordinates with the 2 x coordinates. So let's do it. Find the slope of the line by using 2 points. So we definitely need to find 2 points that are easily attained. So 0, 0 is a good one. That's where I came up with 0, 0. The second point definitely needs to cross nicely. And this looks like the intersection is nice. The rest, I have no clue. So that's where I came up with the 60 and the 500. So we're going to try to use the coordinates. Y2 means the second y. Y1 means the first y. It doesn't matter if you do this either. So, and then therefore you do this. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do the y coordinates, meaning subtract, find the change in the y. And their start was 0 minus 500, or 500 minus 0. So 500 minus 0 over, so since I started with the 500, I need to start with the 60. 60 minus 0. So it would be 500 over 60. And we're going to reduce that. I can divide each one by 10. So we have 50 over 60. Now I'm going to reduce each one by 2 because they're both even. So I get 25 over 3. That would be the slope, m. We'll use the letter m for slope. So every 25 I go up, I go over 3. So describe the slope, positive slope. It has a positive slope. That's what I mean by describing, positive slope. And here is the slope. Notice that nothing else goes into 25 and 3 evenly. So 25 over 3 is the slope. Rise over run, 25 over 3. 25 going up, 3 going to the right. Next example, find the slope of the line by using 2 points. I've given you the 2 points, and then describe the slope. So the change in the y, so we have the y's. So we have 4 minus 4. So I'm starting with this one. So on the x's, I need to start with the same point. Negative 2 minus 3. Negative 2 minus 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So the slope would be 0 over negative 5, which does simplify to 0. M is the slope. Describe the slope. I think I'll come back to that one, describing the slope. I guess you could say it's positive. I'll come back though. Find the slope using rise over run. So, and we've done this. You need to find 2 points, and I have the 2 points labeled. They cross nicely. And let's see, we have to go from one point to the other. So I go up 1. And then I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up 1 would be a positive. And since I went to the left, that's going the negative, it'd be negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be, and it doesn't matter where the negative goes. So the slope would be negative 1/5. Describe the slope. It has a negative slope. Look at the line even. Negative. And if I check this, I could, since I put the negative with the 1, I'm going to use a different color. I go down 1 because it's negative and over 5 positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same point. Beautiful. Again, using rise over run, you need to find 2 points that are nicely located. We don't like decimals. That can't see that. And those are the 2 points. So rise over run. And that's a change in the y over the change in the x. So go from one point to the other. So start at a point. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And 1, 2 to the left. So that would be also negative. Negative and a negative cancel. So I'd have 5 over 2 would be the slope. Describe the slope. It is positive. And I came out with a positive, which is good because the line goes up. Find the slope of a horizontal line. So look at this horizontal line. Find 2 points. So we can do rise over run, or we can do 2 coordinates. The same thing, either this option or this option. So let's write the 2 points down. So we need to find the change in the y, would be the 5. So 5 minus 5. Start here. So I got to start with negative 1 minus 6. We get 0 over a negative 6, which is 0. So the slope is 0. Describe it. This is why I wanted to come back to the couple previous pages. If you get a slope of 0, describe the line. It would be a horizontal line. So think about walking across this line. Very easy. It has no steepness, so it would be the floor. Anytime you see a horizontal line, you get 0 for a slope. It's not steep. No steepness. So if you did the rise over run, so rise over run method, so to go from this point to the second point, you go up none. There's your 0. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I do that right? Oh, sorry guys. That would be a negative 7, just verified, which still equals 0, but then rise over run would be 0 over 7, which is 0. So lucky I checked that. Still got 0. So it is a horizontal line. Find the slope of a vertical line. So we can do rise over run or subtract the 2 points. It doesn't matter which method. Here are my 2 points. So I want to do the y coordinates first. That's your numerator. So start here. 6 minus 2. We'll do the x coordinates. 4 minus 4. So we get 4 over 0. If you remember, 4 divided by 0, there's no answer for that, so it's undefined. No, and don't write 0, because 4 divided by 0 isn't 0. Check it on a calculator. You'll get an error. So it's undefined. Describe the slope. It would be a vertical line. Think about trying to walk up this line with no tools. Impossible. So the slope is undefined. Too steep. And find the slope of a line from a table. So again, there are 4 points in this table. Remember, x and then y, x and y, x and y, and x and a y. So you get to pick any 2 points. Note that they'll have any 2 points on the line will have the same slope as we worked with yesterday. So, or actually today. So I like 0, 0, and it doesn't matter which other 2 points. So we'll take those two. Subtract the y's. That's your rise. So 6 minus 0. So I started here. So I got to start with the same coordinate that matches the 6. So negative 3 minus 0. So we have 6 over negative 3. Simplifies to a negative 2. That would be the slope. Describe it, the slope, negative, because of the negative. And if you want to see the ratio, it'd be negative 2 over 1. For every 2 I go down, I go right 1. Rise over run. And on my own, so for problems 1 through 4, describe each slope, meaning positive, negative, horizontal line, that would have a slope of 0. And the last one would be a vertical line, meaning slope would be undefined. So pick one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4 choices. The last one, describe the slope. So again, one of those 4, and then find the slope. You can do rise over run, which is just the change in the y over the change in the x, or you can subtract your y coordinates and subtract your x coordinates, write it as a ratio.